watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Thank you so much for being here and waking up with us. It's CBS 8 at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connors.
And I'm Netta Irampour. Yeah, glad you're joining us here. And hopefully you've been enjoying this nice weather. It's still really nice, especially open up the windows in the mornings.
That's the best part.
Not even overnight.
I open them up in the evening.
Yeah.
So that, the cool air can come in overnight. Yeah, exactly. So we've been enjoying much more spring-like weather than summer-like weather. July would typically be very warm on us, but that has not been the case since these clouds have been hanging out with us, stretching all the way out to the western slopes of the mountains. There's a lot more depth to them, and temperatures are on the cooler side of average across the county by about 5 to 10 degrees. Coming up, we'll be talking about whether or not we see any warm up or cool down in the forecast. Vanessa?
Hey, Evan. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday to everyone tuning in at 6 a.m. Let's go ahead and start things off outside. Not much happening. In fact, it's rather quiet. This is the 5 in both directions right at Genesee. And as we switch gears and bring you a little more towards the South Bay, right side of your screen is that northbound drive headed in from Chula Vista, passing Home Avenue, making your way towards the 15 on-ramp. Not really a lot to talk about in terms of crashes nor delays. Always happy to report that. However, we're getting reports of a pipe in the slow lane on the 5, and that's going to be southbound. Not really going to do anything for those folks headed northbound this morning. We're starting to slow a little bit. 50-mile-per-hour speed, stop and go from about the 15 interchange as you make your way through through Mission Valley. Coming up a little later, we'll take a closer look at those travel times. Netta.
Thank you very much, Vanessa and Evan. And now today, the San Diego City Council will hold a final vote on changes for accessory dwelling units, also known as ADUs.
Yeah, last month they approved reforms to current regulations on this. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live in studio now to explain how you can voice your opinion on this. Last time, this has been controversial here, Regina.
Yeah, that's right. And because people are split, we have new regulations for accessory dwelling units that are heading to City Council for a second reading this morning. It's been a topic of concern for residents and local organizers who say developers are exploiting this type of program, in some cases even noticing towering ADUs next to a single family home. So last month, during an hours-long city meeting, hundreds of residents voiced their concerns and pushed to cap the number of accessory dwelling units that can be built on a single family lot. The majority of speakers cited issues regarding neighborhood character and infrastructure. After a long discussion, the city moved forward to place new reforms. Those under 8,000 square feet are now limited to 4 ADUs. Lots between 8,000 and 10,000 can have 5, and lots over 10,000 square feet can have up to 7 ADUs. The council also voted to prevent accessory dwelling units from being built on cul-de-sacs in areas with high wildfire risk. Now, a second reading is scheduled for 10 a.m. today. Residents are able to submit a public comment either in favor or in opposition to item 501 before the city council meeting. You can access and submit a public comment form by heading to the city's website. Now, if the changes get approved during today's final reading, the item then heads to the mayor's desk for his signature, and new regulations could take effect after 30 days. Eric and Netta.
Regina, thank you. San Diegans could soon be paying more for their water bills, an increase totaling more than 60% over the span of 4 years. Yesterday, the City Council agreed to set a public hearing to take up the proposed hike. Sewer rates would also rise by 31% over the same time frame. So if approved, the combined monthly bill for a single-family home would total roughly $180, according to the Public Utilities Department.
Prices increase, many San Diegans will be forced to choose between paying for their water or paying for food.
A public hearing is set for September 30th before the City Council votes on whether to approve these increases.
This morning, unionized workers will hold a strike against layoffs at UC San Diego Health. So the union, AFS-CME Local 3299, saying they will picket at the Hillcrest Medical Center. You'll see them there from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. They say UC, quote, broke the law by failing to provide notice or bargain over its layoff plans. UCSD Health announced more than 200 employees would lose their jobs, saying previously it, quote, understands the emotional impact that layoffs have on all our employees, and we have worked diligently to ensure patient safety while managing this difficult process with compassion and empathy. UCSD Health says they have added staff, but patients may experience delays today. And now this morning, San Diego County Board of Supervisors will swear in newly elected supervisor Paloma Aguirre, who will represent the South Bay. The Imperial Beach mayor defeated Chula Vista Mayor John McCann in the District 1 special election. This was after Nora Vargas abruptly resigned, I should say, back in January. This will shift the balance of power on the board to the Democrats. Aguirre says her priorities are the sewage crisis, immigration enforcement, and our cost of living. And now this morning, Board of Supervisors will consider a proposal for a program to educate small businesses on their rights in case of an ICE raid. This comes after the raid at South Park's Buena Forqueta back in May. Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer wants the program to train both business owners and employees how to lawfully respond to federal immigration enforcement. Today, Chula Vista City Council will hold a final vote on rules for electric bikes and scooters. Now, they would ban anyone under the age of 12 from riding e-bikes, require helmets for minors, and forbid riders under 18 from carrying any passengers. If this gets approved, it would take effect in 30 days. This comes after an 8-year-old boy died when a car hit him as he was riding an electric scooter in Otay Ranch.
This morning, we know the names of the 2 people killed in Friday's crash on Highway 67 in Poway. Marcial Rivera and his son Emmanuel were heading to a job site when they were involved in a 3-car collision. Rivera, described as a devoted husband, father of 5, and proud grandfather, died alongside his son Emmanuel, who leaves behind a 7-year-old child and a baby on the way. 3 others, sadly, were also killed in this. Investigators are reviewing video evidence to figure out what may have caused this crash. And this morning, the Port of San Diego is identifying the man they say hit the USS Midway with his boat on Friday. The crash happened right there. 40-year-old Frank Diana was arrested on charges including boating under the influence and hit and run. The vessel left the scene and was later found near the Coronado ferry landing. No injuries were reported, and the Midway did not sustain any major damage. And this morning, the longtime owner of a popular Pacific Beach restaurant is pleading for support. The French Gourmet has been around nearly 50 years. Owner Michael Malicott says business is crashing after he sold the property to a developer planning a 23-story tower. Malicott claims he had no idea that's what the buyer intended to do when he accepted the offer. The move has sparked protests and a drop in customers. Malicott warns the iconic restaurant may close sooner than expected.
First 6 months of 2025 have been a financial disaster. I am depleting my personal resources to keep the French Gourmet afloat.
Community groups fighting the tower say they never called for a boycott, but are not surprised by the fallout. It's not a done deal just yet, as it is still under city review.
Here we are, 6:07 on this Tuesday morning. Clouds are out there, but yeah, it is really a good time to let that natural AC come through.
I think so. I mean, we've been enjoying a much more mild stretch across San Diego County. I feel like every year when Comic-Con is approaching, we're talking about how when you wear these huge costumes that have a lot of layers on it, you're typically left just sweating all day. Not really going to be the case as we head into this year's Comic-Con, as temperatures are trending about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than normal. Out along the coast in San Diego, 73 is our average. Well, 73 is what we're going for this afternoon. 76 is average, which puts us about 3 degrees cooler than normal. Same goes in Ramona, about 6 degrees cooler than average. Borrego Springs, 7 degrees cooler than average, barely making it into the triple digits. Now, what we see is that this trough of low pressure is centered across the western U.S., while a ridge of high pressure is expanding over mainly the south. And you can see what those triple-digit temperatures are looking like across a good portion of the country. Wichita, Kansas, 102 this afternoon. Jackson, 108. Atlanta, 106. So a good portion of the country, not only in the triple digits, but you get all the way up to Minneapolis, 96. Chicago's going for 90. North Dakota is warmer than we are this afternoon at 84 degrees. We in San Diego are at 72, one of the coolest spots in the continental U.S. We got a good amount of cloud cover out there overhead. It's been taking a while to clear out, means that we might be waiting until closer to the noon hour to see more of that sun out by the coast, as each and every day it's been at least 10, 11 that we've been seeing those clouds break apart, but it still allows for that low UV exposure in the early morning stretch, and then afternoon hours, it's a good idea to still be lathering up. Out the door right now, 67 in Carlsbad, 65 in Mira Mesa, 66 in El Cajon. Alpine right now is at 62. And good morning to you in Julian, much more mild, 50 degrees. Campo is one of the coolest spots in the county this morning at 48. I'll send things over to Vanessa with a check of traffic. Good morning.
Hey, Evan. Yeah, I need to check my temperature gauge on the car. It said like 80 degrees as of this morning. I was like, no, that's not correct. I need to do something. I don't know what part of the car reads that temperature. The 5 in both directions. Let's go ahead and take you outside. This is in the La Jolla area right at Genesee. A little more south, things are starting to get a little busy. In from Chula Vista, stop and go as you make your way past that Home Avenue exit headed towards the 15 connector. This is all typical though for this time of the morning. It's only going to get worse, especially out of the South Bay as the morning progresses. We're still tracking this pipe, a large pipe reported in the slow lane. That's for southbound drivers right at East Street. As we zoom on out, a little bit of slowing. It's not too bad, and I assure you it's probably going to get worse as kids. I know South Bay students are headed back to school this week, but 68-mile-per-hour speeds right now in from Chula Vista National City. 65 to 70 is what we're averaging in from Santee as well as the Grossmont area on those westbound drives. If you're headed southbound this morning in from Oceanside or Escondido, you're averaging about 68 to 73 miles per hour. And here's a quick look at travel times out of the North County in from Encinitas to the top of the Golden Triangle, about 25 for you, 10 in from Escondido. All right, taking a look at your border wait times as we pull those up. We're looking at over 2 hours inbound from the San Ysidro port of entry and about an hour and a half wait in if you're coming in from the Otay Mesa port of entry. That's all at last check.